When Liverpool confirmed the signing of Darwin Nunes in June 2022 for an initial £64 million, the club faithful had every reason to believe they found their next superstar. The 23-year-old Uruguayan had just tormented Europe's elite, including Liverpool themselves on Anfield, scoring 26 goals in Portugal while spearheading Benfica's Champions League charge. Fast forward 3 years, and the same player has just been sold to Al-Hilal for €53 million plus add-ons, representing a staggering financial loss for a club that rarely gets transfers wrong. So what went so catastrophically wrong with Darwin Nunes at Liverpool? The warning signs were there from the beginning, though few wanted to acknowledge them. Dr. Lad Graham, Liverpool's former head of research, had raised concerns during the recruitment process, questioning whether Nunez was the right fit for their system. The difficulty with Nunez was that he was a very different type of player to Firmino, Graham revealed. My questions were, are we going to change our style of formation for him? Is he a good enough player that it might be worth making those changes? The data team had their eye on Christopher Nkunku from RB Leipzig, but Jurgen Klopp had made his choice. This wasn't the club signing backed by a unanimous consensus, it was Klopp's personal gamble. The early signs suggested the gamble might pay off. Nunez announced himself with a goal in the Community Shield against Manchester City, upstaging Al-Hilal in the process. His first Premier League appearance saw him change the game off the bench against Fulham, scoring and assisting in a thrilling 2-2 draw at Craven Cottage. But then came his first start, with it the red card against Crystal Palace that would set the tone for his entire Liverpool career. That moment of madness, a headbutt on Joachim Andersen, didn't just cost him 3 matches, it derailed his entire settling-in process. The suspension came at the worst possible time. Liverpool's attack was already depleted through injuries, forcing Klopp into tactical experimentation that would become a defining feature of Nunes' time at Anfield. The German manager shuffled between 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 and 4-4-2 formations, with the Uruguayan's role changing almost weekly. One match he would lead the line as a traditional number 9, the next he'd be partnered in the front 2, then shifted out wide on the left wing. For a player already struggling to adapt to the Premier League's intensity, this tactical instability proved devastating. Klopp's public comment about his number 27 revealed the internal struggles. The potential is incredible, he said. It's not only speed, the attitude is really good, he's a real worker. Some people out there are unsure technically, but it's incredible. He doesn't bring it on the pitch at the moment all the time, but it's nothing to do with technique. This was meant to be supportive, actually highlighted the core problem. Nunez wasn't translating his undeniable talent into consistent performances. By January 2023, Liverpool's desperation was evident. The arrival of Cody Gakpo, deployed as a false 9, effectively pushed Nunez further down the pecking order and out to the left wing. The club has spent £64 million on a striker, only to realize 8 months later that they needed another forward to play in his position. It was an admission that the original plan wasn't working. The numbers tell the story of a player who consistently failed to live up to expectations over his time at Anfield. Nunez' 20 Premier League goals have come from 190 shots and 28.3 expected goals, an underperformance compared to his goals of 29. An underperformance compared to his expected goals of 29. This wasn't just missing the occasional big chance. This was systematic underperformance at a level that made him unreliable when Liverpool needed goals most. If he had put away all the chances expected goals models predicted he should, the 24-year-old would have had 29 goals in his first 66 appearances for Liverpool. His second season brought more minutes and more goals, but the fundamental issues remained. Nunez started just 5 of Liverpool's final 10 Premier League matches that campaign, failing to feature in any of the last 4 games. The pattern was clear. Whenever the pressure mounted, whenever Liverpool needed their most reliable players, Nunez found himself on the bench. The arrival of Arne Slot was supposed to offer a fresh start, but instead delivered the final verdict on Nunes' Liverpool career. Under the Dutchman, the Uruguayan's expected goals involvement dropped to just 0.56 per 90 minutes, his lowest figure across 3 seasons. In 2025, he managed just 4 starts against Accrington Stanley in the FA Cup, Tottenham in the Carabao Cup, Lille in the Champions League, and Southampton in the Premier League. The message couldn't have been clearer. He had already been deemed surplus. The cruel irony is that Nunes' overall contribution wasn't terrible by normal standards. His 38-goal involvement across 4,875 Premier League minutes, one every 128 minutes, actually matched Sadio Mane's rate during his first 3 seasons at Anfield. But Liverpool in 2022 weren't a normal club with normal expectations. They were title contenders operating on razor-thin margins, where unreliability became unaffordable. What made the situation even more frustrating was Nunes' undeniable physical gifts. His movement consistently created high-value chances. He generated one expected goal every 96 minutes when including expected assists, but his finishing let him down repeatedly. At Benfica in 2021-2022, he had overperformed his expected goals by an exceptional 6.72, matching Kylian Mbappe's best finishing season. At Liverpool, he underperformed every single year. The psychological aspect cannot be ignored. Those early misses against high-profile opponents created a narrative that Nunez could never escape. Each subsequent mistake was magnified. Each goal celebration felt defensive rather than joyous. The Anfield crowd wanted to love him. His work rate and commitment were never in question, but football at this level demands more than effort. The financial reality makes this failure even more stark. Liverpool are set to make an 8-figure loss on a player who signed for an initial £64 million plus significant add-ons. The €53 million fee from Al-Hilal represents a significant depreciation on an asset that was supposed to appreciate and carry the team over time. For a club that prides itself on smart recruitment and player development, this represents a rare but costly miscalculation. The Saudi move offers him the chance to rebuild his confidence and rediscover his current surge away from the intense scrutiny of the Premier League. At 26, he is far from finished as a player, and the 3-year contract with Al-Hilal provides the stability he needs to begin making a name for himself. But for Liverpool, the Darwin Nunes experiment will go down as a cautionary tale about the dangers of prioritizing potential over proven performance. As Arne Slot looks to rebuild Liverpool's attack, likely with Newcastle's Alexander Isak in his sight, the Nunes chapter serves as a reminder that even the most meticulous recruitment processes can fail. Sometimes, no amount of data analysis can predict whether a player will adapt to new surroundings, new teammates, and new expectations. Darwin Nunes arrived at Liverpool as a raw talent brimming with potential. He leaves as an expensive lesson in the perils of paying for what a player might become rather than what they already are. In football's unforgiving spotlight, potential without consistency is just expensive hope. And hope, as Liverpool have learned, doesn't win you trophies. Do you think Nunez will ever make his way back to the top European leagues? Let us know in the comments. Remember to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to turn on post notifications so that you never miss out on any new videos. Catch you in the next one. Bye.